We're back. Okay. We're back once again. This is the third attempt of getting through a little quarantine stream tonight on the MMA-Holes. I don't know what is going on, honestly. I think we're showing up in the sub boxes, so that's cool. Quarantine stream in full effect. I'm thinking there's a couple of issues. All right, here we go. Let's go to round one. Hello, guys and gals. We're back. It's bad enough we got this coronavirus thing to deal with, but now we got to deal with this shit. All right, and the funny part about this is every time Chrome to your Dome donates, it just crashes. I don't know why it's that, but that's not the case. That's not what's happening. I'm thinking it's this. I think it is our software that was updated, and maybe it's a glitchy update with Open Broadcasting System. I'm thinking that might be the problem now. So hopefully we go through. I'm going to keep monitoring the CPU and make sure everything is kosher. Don't know why it's happening. Yeah, the software might have coronavirus. It's possible. It just adds to the medley of things. They didn't start the Conor versus Nate 1 fight yet, so that's the good news. Okay, just
they did.
They did? What do you mean?
They're showing it every moment of the fight.
Wait, so is this were they showing it in a different way?
I guess.
Oh yeah, this is the first fight. So they're not showing the actual full fight. They're showing like Oh, it's the second round. Yeah, this is the first one. All right, so here's when Conor slows down and Nate's feeling the juice. This is the first fight. Okay. So there you go. Nate's feeling that juice. So what they're doing is they're cutting to the announcers. They're cutting to the corners. Showing Nate's corner all excited as he has Conor against the fence. Now, I was in the building for Nate Conor 1, UFC 196. I was here. I was supposed to see Conor fight RDA. That was the plan. That fell through. They went up to 170. Nate wound up being the opponent. Conor comes in all beefy. First round, complete fire. And come the second round, halfway through, here we go. This is where Conor gets gassed out. They're showing his corner over here. Nate going for the guillotine. Conor rolling around. And I'll never forget this. The crowd was going ballistic. This was after Holly Holm just got upsetted by Misha Torres. Misha Tate. Misha Tate. Not Tisha Torres. She's not a part of this. They kind of just tapped out here. So, man, I remember this like it was yesterday. The whole crowd was olaying in the first round. They were olaying like crazy. It was deafening in there. And like I said, it was right after Torres. Why am I saying Torres?
Misha Tate.
Every time we get fucking technical difficulties,
I
want to fucking kill myself. I can't even think straight.
It's okay. We got to keep a straight, level, even head, right, Moss?
Yeah, this is getting deleted anyway. Misha Tate and Holly Holm. Misha comes back, chokes out Holly. It was the crowd went crazy. The card UFC 196 was shit. It was complete trash. It had Shevchenko versus Nunez, the first one on there, but that was a shit fight too.
Yeah,
the whole card was ass, and the co-main and main event were complete fire. Misha becomes the champion. And then with this fight over here, everyone's olaying, going nuts. And then the second round, Nate comes back. You can see the blood all over his face. He's feeling the juice. He's like, he's slowing down. Brings him to the mat. Takes the neck. Conor's choking. He's like, get me out of here. Tap, tap, tap. That's it. Fight's over. And the crowd erupts. Even the people that were olaying just erupted for Nate Diaz. It was bonkers.
Yeah. Absolute bonkers.
And I remember all my friends were standing there like, ah! They're like a bunch of children pointing in my face. And I'm like, that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. But that fight was so fucking good. It really was. It was incredible back and forth. I remember Conor walked out to El Chapo, and I remember having a bad feeling about it. I'm like, where's Biggie? Where's the Sinead O'Connor?
Biggie.
I'm like, where is that? Why are we doing this El Chapo bullshit? He just was overconfident with this fight, And he tried to knock him out in the first round, completely lost his gas and made for an epic moment. Nate Diaz, forever in history, the face, that bloodied face where he's just pointing at the camera. What did he say?
Surprise, surprise. Oh, wait, no. I'm
not surprised, motherfucker. Yeah. All over the place, and that just catapulted Nate. And then that's set up the rematch, which they're going to be showing soon, which was another epic fight. Really, really crazy stuff. Anyway, if you're wondering why the stream keeps on bouncing back and forth, we are back for a third time. We're having technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on here.
We're just going to have to pay attention to it.
Yeah, welcome back, chat room. Anyway, I actually got to play a couple of donations that didn't come through here. This is the King K one.
Super chat.
That got missed, lost in the shuffle.
I'm worried about
Khabib said Conor had the strongest grip to DC.
Did he really say that? I don't know, man. I don't see that.
Before you play the next donation, Moss, there's actually a scene. If you scroll down a little bit in your scenes, and it says duo fight briefing or fight briefing duo. You can
we gotta get that out of here.
Delete it. Up there at the top, at the very, very top. Right there. Right there.
I don't see shit.
Up a little bit more. And down one. Nope.
Oh, fight briefing duo.
Yes.
Delete you dyslexic?
That. I said duo fight briefing.
Yeah.
Here.
All right, so let's take that out. Yeah, there's probably too much shit going on here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of any scene that we can.
Yeah. All right.
Delete here.
Well, anyway, did it start happening after that?
No, it started happening after you updated OBS.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if that was around the same time.
That was like 2 weeks after. No, it did not happen after that.
All right.
But I'm thinking if we just kind of try and delete as many scenes as possible.
All right, we're going to take it. We're going to do a test here. I'm going to play.
I don't know if now's the time for a test.
The Chrome donation that shut us down.
Again. I just got done promoting everything again.
Wow, I just hit the donation. It won't even go through.
I don't want to do this again.
Is Chrome the curse?
Please, I don't want to do it again.
Is Chrome the curse?
It won't play his donation. I'm fucking pissed if it goes through and we freeze.
Shopping during a pandemic.
You see that bullshit I be talking about. Every time I say something naughty or offensive, YouTube tries to shut bitches down. Now I'ma have to do the unthinkable. I'm gonna find the host to this corona and let his ass loose inside YouTube headquarters.
There you go.
Wait.
Chrome to your dome. It played, Jesse. It played through. It played. Yes!
Yeah, it played through last time, Moss.
We're alive! We're alive! Yes!
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right. It went through. Could you believe that, Jesse? It actually went through.
You told me to remind you to check your CPU.
Yeah. So the CPU is down there. So we got to keep track of that. See that over there? So if you see it getting into the 50s and 60s, you're like, whoa, hold on. That shit's out of control. Right now it's 14. So it's not too cray-cray. It's good.
It's going down, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't want it. You don't want that super high. But that's the computer working. Let me just look at the stream and see if we're coming in clear.
I'm so stressed now.
Yeah, because it doesn't make any noise. We can keep talking, and then all of a sudden we look down, we see this, it's frozen. So, oh, look at this, Jesse.
What?
They even played a commercial.
Yeah, they did that the last 2 times, Moss, and we're showing up in sub boxes.
Are we monetized?
So this has nothing to do with YouTube. This has to do with our software.
No, but YouTube, it's not showing when it doesn't show up in the what's it called? The sub boxes. That's completely YouTube.
Yeah, we showed up in sub boxes the last 3 times.
All right, so now it's working. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe our subscribers actually know we're live now.
But it doesn't say.
Okay. Well, you got to look at the dashboard. I think that's where you got to go. No, not that dashboard. The live dashboard.
Oh, live dashboard.
Okay. So maybe we're good. Oh, yeah, the mass censorship thing. So, yeah, this coronavirus, there's bots out there that are checking out channels and stuff like that, and they're short-staffed.
Monetized.
Or monetized?
Yes. It says monetized with ads.
How is this working? Well, there we go. All right, so we're gonna have a good day today. We're gonna have a good day. That was all for I don't know. Thank you for joining us.
Just pay attention to the CPU. You know what it is? Maybe if you flip screens too much.
No, that's not it. That's definitely not it. But okay, let's see. What the next one is Nate Connor 2. So I don't have to change the picture. So so that's what they're doing. They're going back to back over here on these fights. If you want to see these fights from the past, Connor, Nate, all these fights that we're going to be watching and talking about, it's on ESPN. If you don't have ESPN or you want to get like ESPN Plus to see the stuff, there's a link in the description down below. And you can get it over there. Okay, yeah, so about the censorship, it's hold on, let me just change this number real quick before I forget, because I forget quickly. There we go. The so YouTube during this time, they're short staffed too. So what they're doing is they're sending more bots out to check things down up, like check on channels and check on streams, and they're just shutting a lot of shit down. So
because there's no humans reviewing it.
And yeah, by the time it gets reviewed, it's too late. So if a lot of your favorite YouTube channels, if you don't see it in your sub box, or if you see things getting taken down for reasons that don't make sense, it's because YouTube is affected by this coronavirus as well.
Yeah.
And they're short staffed. So it's ridiculous.
Moss, I think I'm getting an ulcer.
If you could see 3 years ago to now, I look way different. I look a lot younger.
He's aging.
Oh,
I'm getting ulcers and liver cancer and hepatitis.
But the good news is this, Jess. Now it's in the sub boxes. Now our community actually knows we're live. So this is great. Share the stream, like the video, and this is what we're reacting to. We started off good too. We started off on fire. And then all of a sudden it got all weird and dreary, and it's like, oh my God, we keep crashing. Look at this. Some CBD. Is he on the list? Is he on the list, Jesse? Heavy micro grow. CBD.
It helps with healing process and inflammation and stuff like that. So you want to before or after the fight training and make your life a better place.
What does he got?
First time donor, long MMA boner.
Got it.
Is this the first time? Hold on, I got it right. Boom. Look, Jesse. What do you think this is? What do you think this is? Thank you, Heavy Micro Grow. Is this your first time donation? Well, that's fucking wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
That was a little delayed over there. Hold on, sorry. Thank you, Heavy Micro Grow. Added to the list over here. Look at that, Jesse. Oh, she's editing it. I was just gonna put the spacing because I know she's crazy with that. And I look over and I see that she's doing it, so I'll just refresh it.
Don't blame me.
Heavy Micro Grow. Who's on the list, Jesse, of donations?
Kai Noto, 74 Chrome to your dome, Ride Drive Lily, King K, Drunk Savage, Daniel Ceballos, Jonathan Wilberding, The Eagle, Raging Abdul, and Heavy Micro Grow. Yeah, they carry over from the last stream. They carry over. So those are the people that donated on this wonderful, wonderful Saturday, the quarantine coronavirus stream. COVID-19. Thank you, everyone that donated. Appreciate it. Yes.
Okay.
Much appreciation.
So we got Connor Nate 2. So now, what are your memories of Connor Nate 2, Jess?
Actually, the first time I ever saw Connor Nate 2 was a replay. It was when I had first started doing, I don't know how many of you guys are OGs, the MMA-Holes after show. If you remember the MMA-Holes after show, drop the ones in the chat. I used to do a gimmick where it was like the top chatter or something like that, or I chose 3 people from the chat, and then you guys had to vote for a person, and whoever won got to choose a fight that I get to watch. And I can't remember who won that week, but someone won, and they said, I want you to fight, or I want you to watch Connor Diaz II. And I was like, okay, I did it. I did a reaction to it. One of the best fights I had ever seen. It was a complete bloodbath, this fight. And, yeah, this is a nostalgic thing for me, Moss, because it reminds me of the after show when we first started collaborating on the MMA-Holes. So to me, it's like it brings back memories and nostalgia.
This fight, Connor Nate 2, I believe, when did this happen? This was before the MMA-Holes existed, right? This was, what was the date of this?
No, yeah, I don't know if it was before the.
It was right before it was.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let's see. It was 2016. When was it? Hold on. Actually, it was right before. It was 8/20. It was the... Wow, look at that, Jesse. We started, what, the 22nd? What's our birthday?
Yeah, August 22nd of 2016.
This was... Wow. How about that, Jess? So Conor Nate 2.
One of the first reactions you ever did.
No.
No.
Conor Nate 2 was 2 days before the MMA-Holes begun. So I was into the UFC for a little bit before that. I was into the UFC for a little while. What happened was I got into it. I was going through workman's comp, and I had some problems with my shoulders, and there was so many things, and I was stuck. I was stuck at home. I was miserable. And I found the UFC through Tough. I started watching it. I was like, oh, this is fun. Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen, those were guys. Watching those two go back and forth with each other was so much fun, and I just kept watching and watching. And then I remember a little birdie flew by and whispered Conor McGregor's name coming out of Cage Warriors. This is a guy to look out for. I always tried to look for prospects at the time.
Yeah.
And he was one of the guys that I was really getting into it, and he was popping up. I remember with this fight, I saw Conor fight 2 times live before that. And then with this fight over here, I was in a backyard party. And right 2 days before the MMA Holes started, I'm in this backyard with Jay the Pigeon, Diaper John, a bunch of people back there.
V-neck.
I was all pumped up about this fight because when we went to UFC 196, I caught hell. I caught absolute hell from my friends. And here I was waiting for redemption. Conor McGregor, can he beat Nate Diaz? I watched this fight, and I thought Conor lost. That was my opinion of the fight. I watched it in real time on a big projector screen in front of all my friends, and I'm like, Nate Diaz won that fight. Now, not convincingly. I was very on the fence here. I was teeter-tottering, but I really believed that Nate won this fight.
Yeah.
I was devastated. And then all of a sudden, they lift up Conor's hand. Surprise, surprise, motherfucker. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? The next day, I watched the fight back, and then I saw, okay, you know what? Conor did win that fight with the knockdowns, and it was very back and forth, but I believe Conor did enough to get the dub. We're going to watch the fight again over here as they're showing the crowd and all that stuff, and I cannot wait.
Imagine if Moss didn't start the MMA Holes. JBH might have ended up with full-time MMA.
Oh, my God. Or Fights with Friends, Jesse. You could have been with them. Right?
It wouldn't have been. It would actually have been a different channel.
It wouldn't have been MMA.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been an MMA channel.
She never would have been into MMA if it wasn't for the MMA Holes.
If it wasn't for him. He got me into MMA. He said, I promise you, if you watch these 2 fights, you'll get hooked on MMA. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I watched those 2 fights, and lo and behold, I was hooked.
Well, I said McDonald versus Lawler.
Yes, and then you said a Conor McGregor versus Diaz.
Yeah.
And I watched both fights thinking, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he was right. Ever since those 2 fights, I was fucking hooked. I wanted to watch it all the time.
Wow. I you know what? It's funny. Looking at the date, this is 2 days before the MMA Holes started. That's crazy. I remember talking to my friends for a little while about starting a podcast and stuff like that. And we're trying to figure out which way we should go. And a motivational person on YouTube said, do whatever the first thing is when you wake up. What is the first thing you think of when you wake up in the morning? What's the first thing you think about? Oh, fuck, I got to go to work. Oh, fuck, this and that. But what's the first thing that comes to your mind? And I remembered I used to wake up and think, what's the next matchup?
Yes.
And then text my buddies and be like, hey, what do you guys think about this
UFC.
fight? Or UFC rumors or whatever. Like, we would always go back and forth. That literally was the first thing that would jump into my mind. And I said to myself, I'm like, well, the first thing I think about is the UFC. So how do I make a job out of that?
Well, you can either join the UFC team or you can make your own show revolving around the UFC.
Well, and then I was like, you know what? I can't make a job out of it. Let's just start a podcast and see where it goes.
Yeah.
And then we were terrible. And the rest is history.
The first thing I thought of every time I woke up was entertainment. Like, I had to do something in the entertainment industry. And I wanted to do acting. I wanted to act in movies. And podcasting was the next best thing. So I went with podcasting.
She settled.
I settled.
And now she's stuck.
And now I'm miserable.
She settled for the MMA Holes. Let me know in the chat, what was the first experience with UFC with you guys and gals? Or when did you really sink your teeth into mixed martial arts? It doesn't matter if it was yesterday or if it was 17 years ago. It doesn't matter. Whenever you got into mixed martial arts, when did you say, this is my sport? Let us know in the chat.
Casey says, boop, do chronic, and Dana has been complaining media is all bitches. I know we covered that yesterday. Yo, could one of you please say the word Zeus for me? Well, I just said it. Congo versus Barry, can't win them all. Settled, JBH. Being terrible is what differentiates you. Can Jesse do a quick Turk to ease the pain in these trying times? Absolutely.
Look what my mom says.
Not. When you were in judo, LOL.
Yes, I bet many people don't know this. I am a white belt in judo.
White belt.
I'm a mighty white belt that got my ass kicked. What was it? 2 tournaments that they dragged me into, and I just got like my ass whooped. How old was I? I wonder if she remembers how old I was for that.
Didn't you say you were like between 10 and 12?
Oh my God.
Like
If you know what's funny? Like if younger me, the judo me, like had a crystal ball and so in the future that I would have an MMA show, he'd be like, "What the? Are you kidding me? There's no way in hell. No way in hell."
Maybe judo put something in your subconscious that leads you to enjoy UFC fights.
I want nothing to do with it.
Oh, you were about 8.
I wanted nothing. 8 years old. Oh, back in the day when I was an 8-year-old white belt.
In judo. Oh my God. I could picture Moss screaming when being tossed around.
I remember there was a yellow belt. It was a white belt versus a yellow belt. And he just ragdolled me. And I was like a little pudgy 8-year-old in my gi.
Oh, that was your pudgy phase?
Yeah.
8 years old?
Sounds about right.
I thought 12 was your pudgy phase.
So now they're showing. See, I don't like this, man. Like they're showing the fight, but they're cutting to the crowd, screaming and yelling. Like I don't give a crap about. I just want to see the fight.
Jessie fighting with her brothers. My mom. That's true. My brothers used to try and wrestle and beat the shit out of me all the time. I learned self-defense through just growing up. Same Justin found a case as CC. The MMA superfan says, is the Tony versus Khabib fight going to happen? Hopefully.
Tony Khabib. We're just gonna go with this. Dana White says yes, so we're gonna go with. Yes, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna be optimistic.
They used to beat up new kids because they paid for a year. I've done over 6 different fighting styles, says Mark Roberts.
But have you ever faced a white belt in judo? Oh, Mark, by the way, I saw you in the sumo wrestling chat. I didn't chat because it was so fucking late for us over here. But I'm down with that sumo wrestling stuff. I think I'm a fan. I subscribed. What's a good... But I don't understand. Like, they have these sumo wrestling live streams, but they're like on different channels. Is there like a sumo wrestling website where I can find out, or is there an actual wrestling channel? If so, drop it on the MMAHoles.com.
Are you getting hungry, Moss?
A little bit.
I'm starving.
All right, so I can't even put the clock on here.
Yeah, there's no clock for this one.
No, they're just kind of showing highlights of the fight in the corner. That's kind of a buzzkill. But this fight was massively entertaining. The second fight. Some people said they don't want to see a third fight between these two. After watching 1 and 2 and how there was a drastic difference in outcomes, like, why not see a third? This was a great fight. At 170, Conor Nate 2. I'm there a lot too. See, Mark was there. I saw him in there.
Would you like me to make you a sandwich?
I could go for a sandwich.
Yes?
Okay.
Okay.
Are you hungry?
I'm starving.
Shopping during a pandemic.
Hey, Kainodo!
Jesus Christ, knowing I was a fan since UFC 1 makes me feel even older than I am. I remember the commercial for it featuring Ken Shamrock and I was hokey as hell. We used to wish for a real-life blood sport event and we got it with UFC 1. Good times.
Kainodo, you know what's funny? Like, my father was into the whole early days of the martial arts where they would have, like, Joe Smo Fatso fight the guy in the gi, the skinny guy. Like, they would have those crazy matchups and no real rules, just guys going in there and competing in a cage. And I remember coming downstairs and watching my father watch those things and not having any interest at all. I was just like, this is weird. I did get into boxing when I was younger. Like, the Mike Tyson era was huge. I don't think anyone during that time did not watch a Mike Tyson fight. So I did get into, like, boxing first, really. But then I fell out of love with that when Lennox Lewis started doing his thing. And I felt like boxing kind of took a nosedive for me. I'm a big sports fan when it comes to everything else. And then all of a sudden MMA came in with, like I said, Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen. So I was kind of later to the UFC game. With that being said, what was it, 2010? Somewhere around there, 2010. So almost 10 years. Man, that went fast, though. Tyson was great. I know, right? A lot of Zeus is in the chat. I'm not sure what that's about, but shout out to Zeus. Tyson was must-see TV, man. You would have to, no matter what the pay-per-view was, whether you stole it. Oh, here's the second round where Nate started turning up. Conor once again gets tired in the second round, and all I remember was standing in my friend's backyard and saying to myself, oh my God, it's happening again. They're showing his corner, they're yelling hands high, hands high. I mean, what a crazy, crazy round over here. This is something else. Conor Nate 2, they're showing on ESPN. Man, what a dogfight. I wish I could show you the fight. Listen, it's on ESPN, for God's sakes. We have a link in the description for ESPN Plus, some discounts over there so you could do that. But, I mean, these aren't live fights. So, if you have basic cable, you're going to see it. I watched UFC 1 in 93 live. First pay-per-view, we were like 14. Oh, that's fucking awesome, man. UFC was better without so many rules and weight divisions. I mean, it was a free-for-all. Was Teddy Atlas on JRE, and you'll doubt Tyson's greatness. I know I do now. You know, Teddy Atlas he's a fascinating character. I saw the story where he held up the gun to Tyson. He is something else, Teddy Atlas. It's weird, though. Like, when you see him, like, in a normal situation and he's talking like a normal human being, he actually is a very interesting character. But then when he starts screaming and yelling, there's sometimes you just were like, this guy's out of his mind. My dad gave me a VHS tape of Pride, FC 9. That's how I got into Pride. Man, I kind of wish I was more knowledgeable back in the day about Pride and, you know, the earlier days of the UFC. I kind of wish I was into it like when it was no holds barred, you know, and that's the only way you could see it was on videotape, right? UFC is connected to the spread of the AIDS-19.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you for joining us. We have ESPN on in the background, and we're doing a marathon stream. We got shut down before. It was technical difficulties. Hopefully this is coming through clear. Let me know how the quality is on this thing. Hopefully it's coming in nice and clear. It's nice to see that they're running ads on our stream now. That's cool. It seems fairly clear. I don't know. Hopefully it's coming through all right. So you can go up to 720, 1080. So that's good. Let's see. I want to make sure this is coming through all right. But it seems like you guys still see us. So that's good news. I made a couple of tweaks to the setting. It looks like the new update was, excuse me, was our issue. That's clear enough. That's clear enough. I mean, it's not like high quality, but I changed the performance, so it might be a little less of quality. Driving around, listening only. Thanks for the show. Sorry, limited interaction. All right, PBR. A lot of people are either working or doing things around the home, or, I mean, we're working. I don't know how many people are working now with these shutdowns. What's the deal? So we were talking about this on the other stream. What's the deal with everyone in the chat, shutdown-wise? Are you guys shut down in your area? How's the jobs? How's the takeout? Things going on? Because right here in New York, they say in 8 weeks we're going to be shut down, which is freaking scary. JBH making you a friend peanut butter and banana sandwich. Peanut butter and banana sounds pretty good right now. So this is going into, I believe, the third round. They're not really showing it. This is a flashback of McGregor Diaz II. Nate Diaz pointing and smiling. I don't know what round this is, though. They're not showing the round. I'm sure they said it, but we don't have the audio on. Working no lockdown, but S people on lot work means ton of overtime at work. All right. So, you know what? You got to make the best of it, right? If you got to work through these hard times, make that money. Why not, right? Just stay safe. Be careful. They tell me that the end is near. Twisted my arm and made me stay home and fat more. The masturbation rate has gone up tremendously. Made Roy Nelson calf in UFC 3. When will the fight start? So if you're just jumping in, guys and gals, we are watching this in the background over here. It's on ESPN. ESPN is where you can find it. We have a link in the description to ESPN Plus. And you can check out the fights. But they're not showing it like a live fight. They're just kind of showing highlights and the crowd and the... I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of just want to see the fights. We're going to ignore how Izzy called Yoel out for legacy and got scared after getting licked. So wait, what happened? He called out Yoel for legacy and got scared after being licked. I don't know what happened there. It's a fight flashback. Is that what they're doing? It's kind of weak. I mean, I guess maybe if you have the volume on and you got the commentary and stuff like that, maybe it sounds better. But watching this with no sound, it's not the same. Because they're flashing around and we kind of don't get the a good reaction from it. I'm worried about what to do with my 401k. Don't touch it. I mean, there's nothing you can do, right? Mine's sitting there and I haven't even looked. I don't want to look. I just... God, the 401k thing is scary. Hey, Panani. Are couples that are stuck at home together going to have a bunch of kids? Or are they going to have a bunch of divorces? I mean, probably both. Could you imagine, though? Like, you're in a... I heard a situation... I was reading something about a comedian. Listen to this shit. It's completely MMA related. But I was reading, and this is going to be a long stream, so you could probably get a lot of that. He's living with his girlfriend that he's been dating for, like, I want to say around 6 to 8 months, somewhere around there, okay? He's living with her, but there's a catch. He's living with her and her boyfriend. And apparently this girl has been dating this other guy for 2 years. And now the three of them are living together because of the whole shutdown and the coronavirus, and they're just living together. This girl is spending a couple of nights in one's bed, vanishing and going to the other bed, and they're having like a Three's Company situation going on. It's a comedian. If you look it up, he's on Twitter. And I actually had to give him a follow because I was like, this is insane. And apparently he talks about it, but I haven't seen really much about him talking about it. But it is, I'm just sitting there like, how could any man do that? And what is up? I mean, I guess the girls get the best of both worlds. He said the plus side is, girls are very needy. So he doesn't have to, give them all that needy time. Like if they want to snuggle and have that emotional time, now she could bounce back and forth and get it from both guys. And he can have his personal space and get the benefits of the lovemaking, I guess. But, Jess, did you hear that story? I don't know if she heard it. Oh, she made me a sandwich. Look at this. Now, this is a girl. This is a champion over here. What do we have here? We got sliced up chicken.
It's deli mustard.
What's on the menu?
Deli mustard.
Deli mustard, which is the best.
Avocado.
Tomatoes. Salad greens. Sauerkraut, which I'm telling you, I started eating sauerkraut again. My bowel movements, fantastic. My belly, slimming down. Chicken. And more deli mustard. Wow, a lot of deli mustard. I love deli mustard. Look at this. Check that out. So Nate and Connor, part 2 is what they're showing. Highlights, basically. Over, that's what I mean. Anyone else? Lady C wants to know where's hers. Send her... mail one immediately to Arizona. It's delicious. Yeah, it's really good. Anyone like sauerkraut? You know what? You eat first. I'll talk to the people and then.
I'm good. I'll talk.
You want to take over?
Eat up, Moss.
You're hungry though.
Yeah.
So you made this. I'll wait. I'm good. I'm in the zone babbling.
A lady
right now.
never eats after her man.
Eat, please. We got donations.
Super chat.
The Eagle. We got to add the Eagle.
Conor Gaethje or Conor Diaz III?
Conor Gaethje or Conor Diaz III? I would. All right. So as much as I would love to see the trilogy, I'd rather see Gaethje. I'd rather, because I want Conor to smash Gaethje. Because, and look at this. This just came up. I know, Jess. I know a lot of Gaethje people. And I like Justin Gaethje. I really do. The guy is you have to watch him fight. He's must-see TV. But if you look at this, we put this on the community section. And his
shopping during a pandemic.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
I got it.
You got to add the eagle, too.
I don't need toilet
He's on
paper.
there.
I have a luck speed A. Place 2 to win on the 6 horse in the last at Santa Anita. Teddy Atlas is from my hometown.
Uh-huh.
The pizzerias are open in Staten.
Oh, are they really? God, I can go for... We have some frozen pizza that we might have to jump into. But not like frozen, actual real pizza. So that's good. Yeah, I would go Gaethje. Anyway, look at this. Gaethje puts a tweet out and says, "Can't wait to knock the head off of Conor." And Conor responds, "Mate, the 2 guys that knocked you out, I slept already. Not only did I sleep them, but I did it in spectacular fashion. I'll embarrass you, kid."
My foot was up a balloon.
I concur. Honestly, I think it would be a bad night for Gaethje. But Gaethje's never been in a boring fight. That's why I would like to see it. And if Conor smashes Gaethje, you know what people are going to say? They're like, "Oh, he beat a guy that Conor already knocked out 2 guys that finished Gaethje. Oh, he's not up to the level. Conor's got to fight real talent." Like, that's what you're going to hear.
Yeah.
You know? But I'd rather see it.
Mm.
And then I hope we do see Conor Nate 3. I know a lot of people don't want to see it.
Probably not going to happen.
What do you guys think in the chat? What would you rather see?
Eat your
Nate
sandwich, Moss. I got this.
Oh,
I'll read the chat.
I'm good, man. I'm cruising. You're hungry. Eat.
Ah, super chat.
Brazilian American. Are they on the list?
Suppose exercises in the park are very important.
I got it.
Exercise in the park are very important. You know, I was thinking about that. I have elastic bands, right? I haven't exercised at all. I've been really bad. I just did like some band exercises. I stretched. The Theragun, by the way. Where is it? It's in the other room. Oh, yeah, I put it in the other room. The Theragun. So when you're quarantined, you can't go anywhere. Like you're stuck. So I'm using the Theragun. Shout out. This is a sponsor over here. Link in the description. I'm hitting myself with the Theragun. I feel amazing. Loosened up all the muscles, you know, from all that couch potato shit that I've been doing. So that actually really came in handy. Here's the decision for Conor and Nate, too. Who do you think won, Jess?
Conor.
Conor? Okay. All right, let's see what's up in this chat. I was thinking about going to the park. I just saw someone in the chat say something about it. Yeah, I got those bands, and you can hook them up to the chain link and you can exercise anything with bands. The only thing is, elastic bands are good for like a couple of weeks, and then you got to go back to weights. You can't be like, you can't just work exclusively with bands. You got to switch it up. So, I mean, it would work for a couple of weeks, and then that's it. So go to the park, and the only thing is, you can't touch anything. You have gloves and a mask. I don't know. What are you guys doing to get by in these hard times? Check out my new paint ninja. What you got, MMA art? Let's check it out. All right, I'm going to check it out. MMA art. What do you got? I'm still waiting for the Mystic Moss painting. Where's mine? Or the JBH painting. We got to see that. All right, let's see what we got here. Colby Covington. Is that the one? Colby Chaos. Did I subscribe to this guy? No, I'll subscribe. Hell yeah. And I'll hit the notification bell. This is what everyone should do. When you subscribe, hit the notification bell. You got a new sub. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got here, Mr. MMA Art. I'll just skip forward. So what are you doing? You painting this with just black? All right, there's Chaos. Let's see the finished product. That it? You cut off his head. There you go. Oh, it's not done yet, but I'm finishing it today. All right, man. Awesome. If you ever have any art or anything, you want to promote anything, drop it on the MMAHoles.com on our community section. Pop it over here, and you'll get some people to check it out. You can promote your shit. Just jump it over here, and be wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hell yeah. Where you from, MMA Art? Quarantine Art. Parents are eating and drinking. Chrome's busting nuts. Treadmill and strength training. Oh, Lady C is hitting the weights. She's getting buff.
She just got a treadmill a couple months ago.
Oh, we might have to use that thing. We have to run over there and hop on that. Treadmills are good. Where would we put a treadmill? You can't really put it in the garage because it's going to be so
In our
friggin'
new
hot.
house, we'll have room.
Yeah, it'll be hot in the garage.
The guest room.
Put it in the bedroom.
Okay, I ate half. Now, can you eat your sandwich?
Oh, eat it. I'm good.
I'm good.
I got to go wash my hands and do my whole ritual.
Go watch.
Eat
wash
your freaking
hands
sandwich.
and eat your sandwich. I
You have
want to know
crumbs
what
on
you
your
think.
face. You gotta-
Oh.
You going to entertain the troops?
Yeah, I'll entertain them.
All right, I'm going to eat. I'll be back. Jesse, all right, you know what? I should take this off now. The Connor Nate 2. So look what I did here. I'll show you so you have an idea. See number 2?
See, my mom's yelling at you. She said, eat your sandwich.
As you take that off, right? And then if you want to change it, say I have fights 1 through 3 and then second 3 fights over here.
Okay. Well,
So-
you'll probably be back before then.
Oh, so you're telling me I'm going to do it?
Well,
See?
yeah, once you come
There
back.
they are. And whoop. Oh, is that next, Jesse?
That's next.
A little light reacting.
My dad says hello.
Hello, Pop. Pop in the chat. We got all the parents in the chat. Yeah, baby.
Jay.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. You have a magnificent daughter. Even if she yells at me, she makes me some delicious sandwiches. I got to say that.
I don't always yell at you.
It's
I just
worth it.
Yell at
It's
you
worth
when
it
you're acting
weathering the
like an
storm.
idiot.
When you weather the storm, it's very much worth it because you get delicious sandwiches. Oh, you got to turn the donations on.
Oh, okay, I got it. Just go eat, Moss. Go eat this wonderful sandwich I made for you. Okay, let me turn this on as they're
Shopping
showing.
during a pandemic.
Chrome.
After watching that fight again, you can make an argument Conor won that fight 4-1. People gave the 5th to Nate for that takedown at the very end but forgot Conor took Nate down in that 5th round too. Aside from the 3rd round and last minimum of 2nd, Conor won.
I suppose. I mean, that's something that you would have to argue with Moss about. I think he would agree with you for sure because Conor won. But ask Kainoto that. Ask Kainoto and see what Kainoto says. All right, guys. So we're getting ready to head into Jones versus Gustafsson Uno. And I do remember seeing this fight. And going into the second fight. Let me know where you guys were. What were you doing when Jones versus Gustafsson 1 was happening? Fancy Pants says, better ingredients, better pizza, Papa J. Bear Crash says, wait, did she literally go to the kitchen and make a sandwich? Who's this?
Zeus.
Zeus. Ethan Roberts. All right. And yes, Bear Crash, I went into the kitchen and I made him a sandwich. And if you think that's a feminist nightmare, then I feel bad for all the feminists out there. Mouse peeking his head in through the corner.
I have a story.
Oh, okay. What's going on?
I just thought of something. I actually remember what I was doing during Jones Gustafsson 1. I recall it. I remember very clearly, actually. Jones Gustafsson 1, and I want to see this if my mom's still in the chat. I want to know if she remembers this. We were actually playing cards by my parents' house.
Yes.
And my uncle and aunt were there as well.
Okay.
We're all playing cards, hanging out. And I remember the fight was on the small TV. And my uncle, who is a huge boxing fan, like really big boxing fan, my cousin was a boxer. You know, they just love boxing. But when it comes to MMA, they think it's ridiculous, right? They think it's a little out of control. A lot of boxing fans think MMA is out of control. So here we are watching this fight as we're playing cards, and I'm looking over my shoulder and watching this thing, and it was a complete mutilation between the two. It was such a good fight. I can't wait to watch this replay over here. And I remember my uncle's face. We're just like, because the elbows are flying. John Jones got fucked up in this fight.
Yeah.
And I just remember it being like one of the most epic fights, and we're literally watching it on a TV like that's like this big. It's like it's super tiny. It's tiny TV. If my mom's in the chat, I wonder if she remembers that. But what a fight! We watched this fight on the small ass TV, trying to play a card game, and I kept remembering my uncle just like, oh my god, that's too much. But those elbows were crazy.
Okay.
That's my story.
Okay. They're all telling me where they were when this fight was happening as well. All right.
Oh yeah, see, look, she remembers.
Aunt Joe could not even look, she says. That elbow changed that fight, says the Eagle. Concussion, says Duke Chronic. Reko says it's lit. Great story, says Duke Chronic. I scored this fight live as if I were a judge, and I had Gustafsson winning. You know what? I don't think you're the only one, Tycogen. I think that's the reason there was so much controversy with the Jones-Gustafsson fights, was because a lot of people had Gustafsson winning, and they're saying that Jones just kind of skates by, or that because he was a champion and he was in Dana White's pocket.
That was really close.
Yeah. Women still cook? Absolutely. Listen. I'm not gonna tell you what kind of woman to find. Some guys don't want a woman who can cook, because guys like to cook too. But I love cooking. I love it. It is my safe space, you know? He says if he puts up with all the yelling from me, then he gets a reward, which is food. But that reward just comes from me having to find a safe space. But I enjoy it, so it is what it is. All right, guys. Jones vs. Gustafsson coming up next. John Jones left on a stretcher, says Duke Chronic. Khabib prediction. Okay, you already know what my prediction's going to be. It's going to be Khabib wins by submission, or he's going to edge out a decision if Tony Ferguson gives him a run for his money, which he very well might. But I can understand why you think Tony Ferguson would win, even though he's not. So, Moss, what's your prediction? Khabib or Ferguson?
Tony. Psh. I mean, it's not even a question. Ferguson.
All right, John Jones left on the stretcher. Jones lost to Gus, Santos, and Reyes. If I had a woman who couldn't cook, I may as well be gay. My mom says I taught her well. Shawnee Max says I had red lobster last night. Crab Alfredo linguine. That sounds delicious. Andre Villafranca says Khabib by decision, but I'd love to see Tony winning. Drunk Savage, Tony taps Khabib. Ethan Roberts says I said Zeus on your chat, Moss. You missed it. He did donate and say Zeus. Oh, wait. Did we put Ethan on? Oh, we didn't. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. And just for Ethan, we're going to throw you onto this list, because you're right. I didn't put you on the list. Hold on. Ethan Roberts. Number 13. Ethan. Roberts. Ta-da! Shout out to everyone who has continued to contribute support to the Holes during our quarantine UFC replay. Kainoto 74, Chrome to Your Dome, Rye Drive Lily, King K, Drunk Savage, Daniel Ceballos, Jonathan Wilberding, The Eagle, Raging Abdul, Heavy McGrgegor, D-Rest, Brazilian American Patriotic Soldier, and Ethan Roberts. You are all
wonderful.
All right, guys. Whew. Let's go back to the chat while we wait for this fight to start.